turning up here. Oh, okay, that seems a bit more hopeful. Okay, apparently the plan was to switch servers. Okay, well, let's get into a game. Always good to start with technical issues. Oh, I actually found an opponent quite quickly, that's rare. The legacy queues are like so much slower than other formats. Apart from maybe XL Unlimited. Losing a die roll's like that's not a good start. And this hand is very medium. It's like, well, I think he mulliganed that hand. This hand is marginally better. Let's see. We've got a mountain, Goblin Guide. Can probably seek a second land. Ooh, mountain. We could be in the mirror match here. In which case, let's get down a Goblin Guide now and start winning this race. They just suspended Riftbolt.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Which admittedly I missed.
go on suspend.
No, neither did I, to be honest.
So I just thought they'd played a mountain and tapped it for no reason.
Yeah, I should have noticed that it was that it was tapped. So they Riftbolt our Goblin Guide.
Oops.
Another
Good at
Riftbolt.
this game.
If they're just gonna Riftbolt again, that's probably okay. They're gonna Riftbolt us. I'm gonna Chain Lightning them now so they can't return it to us. They also didn't play a land, which is pretty good for us, and they've got a Fire Blast. So that's pretty notable.
I don't know what that does. I'm not good at this game.
Fire Blast is the sacrifice 2 mountains, deal 4.
Okay.
Lava Spike us. So, ooh, let's go for Swift Spear. It's tempting to play Eidolon there, to be honest. Ooh, they drew something. Another Lava Spike to us. But if we can get Swift Spear and Eidolon down, then that makes it a bit better for us. Okay, they bolted Swift Spear. Searing Blaze and Price Progress are just going to be stranded in our hand. I think we do play Eidolon, because we can beat down and have Fire Blast handy. They are now finding lands. Ooh, Sulfuric Vortex isn't amazing for us. So we're going to go down to 9, but basically 5 because we've got the Fire Blast. We'll put them to 10 and then to 8. So take them down to 10. Do we Lava Spike now? If we Lava Spike we go to 7, or go to 5 on our upkeep. No, I think we want to save the Lava Spike for now.
Yeah, I think you don't do stuff until you've got lethal, really.
That's the plan. Whether it'll work out like that, I don't know.
Whether or not they've got lethal, isn't it?
Yeah. I guess, like, if they're not going to do anything, we're beating in with the Eidolon at least. So we're going to go to 7. They might just, like, bolt Fire Blasters here. But if we get them to 6, that puts us in a pretty good spot, I think. This isn't going too bad considering we've got 2 dead cards in hand. But I think... Yeah, I want to wait them to...
If they cast anything now, can't you just kill them with Fire Blast?
I can kill him with Fire Blast. I can kill him with Fire Blast now.
Can you?
Yeah, because they're going to take 2 off the Sulfuric Vortex.
Oh, I didn't know that was 2.
I might have messed up the timing on this, I'm not sure. Oh no,
Okay,
cool.
you're alright.
Hey! Mono Red Mirror. Pyrostatic Pillar seems like it could be good. Searing Blaze, Searing Blood. Seem similarly alright. That's a tricky one. I don't know what I don't know what you bring out in the mirror. Like, are you supposed to bring out creatures?
What was the stuff that was dead in your hand?
Oh yeah, full price progress comes out. Maybe I don't want all the Searing Blazes and Searing Bloods. Definitely want Searing Bloods are better in the mirror than Searing Blaze, I assume. 2 is better than 3. Yeah, I think this is alright. Okay, that's pretty handy for us having won the first game on the draw. Because I guess our opponent got like a 1-lander and didn't really get there with it. Then I'm gonna keep this because we've got like Bolt and Blood for early plays of theirs. We've got a Goblin Guide to apply pressure and also a Pyrostatic Pillar. They are going to start off with, drum roll, Rift Bolt. Well, I'm gonna hold up Lightning Bolt in case they're gonna drop down a Swift Spear or a Goblin Guide. And if not, I can just bolt them end of turn. Mountain. Also helps if we need to kill an Eidolon, which I would like to do. Could potentially have waited to Searing Blood that, to be honest. So spend a Rift Bolt, attack for Goblin Guide. They drew Swift Spear. So Searing Blood could be pretty good next turn. So Lava Spikes, we're going to go down to 10. We're going to attack them down to 16, they're going to take 3 off this Searing Blood. Oh, and Rift Bolt. So let's Rift Bolt them down to 15. Mountain. Searing Blood. Down to 12. Guide down to 10.
This is so weird.
They're drawing Lava Spike.
So swingy.
It is a bit swingy, isn't it? But I feel like having creatures are the best because they're just like a repeatable source of damage.
And what if your opponent's got Searing Bloods?
Yeah, I don't know, that's the thing.
I don't know what Pyrostatic Pillar does.
It's basically Eidolon on, but as an enchantment. So let's attack down to 8. They've also got a Pyrostatic Pillar in hand. So let's make that awful for them. So let's bolt them down to 5. Mountain, Pyrostatic Pillar, and then if they cast anything, we can Fire Blast.
Are they responding?
Nope. I feel like we're in good spot. Because the only... Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the only thing they can draw is like double Fire Blast.
Well, they can't cast double Fire Blast.
Well, that's the thing. Like they'd have to sit there and wait, and by the time they're done, like Goblin Guide's just gonna ping them to death. So they drew Sulfuric Vortex. That's not really castable for them. My opponent says my list is not set up for the mirror, and we win. We win to the game. This is also, I'm going to point out, the only undefeated trophy I have at the moment. 5-0 in a Legacy competitive league. Didn't think I'd have said that at the start of the year.
Your first league as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, no. It was my first league was 4-1, and my second league was 5-0, and then my third league was 4-1. I was just like, ugh. Got a nice City of Traces out of that as well.
Jeez.
Handy, legacy, powerful power stuff.
Wow. Eloquent.
That's what I'm all about, that eloquence. Winning the dice roll is good. This hand is debatable. But I don't think I'm double five-less is not great, actually. No, I think this is a mulligan. We've eventually got a 4-card hand here. This is somewhat better. Like, sometimes I feel a bit rough starting out on Rift Bolt because it just tells your opponent what you're doing straight from the off, as if basic man didn't give it away. I will keep another Rift Bolt though. I have 9 damage in hand doing Drop a Vortex, that should hopefully be quite good. Also, the suspended Rift Bolt I've found can throw some opponents really off if they're like playing like Delver or Deathrite Shaman, because it's just they just then it's like, do they play it on turn 1, or do they just eat 3 to the face? Opponent's on basic island, so we will hope to draw an Eidolon at some point. Always yield to Rift Bolt. I still wish Midgar had a better implementation that means I don't have to yield to Rift Bolt twice. I'm not really sure why that's the case. Okay, so Rift Bolt our opponent. Then we're just going to suspend the other Rift Bolt, because I would quite like to keep up a Chain Lightning in case they drop a Delver or something that we need to kill. There's Brainstorm. Everyone uses this art online, I don't know why, I think it's not as good as the original. But there you go. Angry Cloud.
Maybe it's cheaper.
It might be cheaper.
Or like people opened it somehow. What's that with it in?
Vintage Masters? It's very hard to tell online unless you know the symbols, but I'm pretty sure that's Vintage Masters.
I mean, if you don't know the symbols, I feel like it would be Vintage Masters, and that you could recognise most of the ones that you've seen.
Yeah, fair point. Polluted Delta. Nothing. Okay.
Well, something's getting counted.
Something probably is getting counted. It's just a case of what.
It would be nice to draw something that would be appropriate to draw around a counter spell with.
I wouldn't mind drawing like a Swift Spear or a Goblin Guide.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be decent.
So we'll fire off the Rift Bolt at them down to 14. Or 13 is it's going to be by the looks of it. They're fetching now, so I'm interested to see if they're going to try and counter this, because I could try and then resolve Sulfuric Vortex, which is quite nice if I then end up doing something else. So that's Swift Spear was a nice draw. Opponent is debating what to do. Force of Will by the looks of it. Force of Will on Flusterstorm. Interesting. In that case, I think I am going to fire off this Chain Lightning now, because it feels like they are soft on counters. I didn't expect Swift Spear to eat a Force, and if this Chain Lightning then gets countered, then I think we're in a pretty good spot. They are taking that though. Also dropping this now because if they're playing a Volcanic Island, there's more of a chance that they don't have the option to just Chain Lightning return on us. They're just going to pass, that's the question. The other thing about the Force of Will, it kind of implies they want to buy time. Or they have no removal for a Swift Spear at all. Our opponent is tapping out for Show and Tell. This could be pretty bad, but we get our Sulfuric Vortex into play. They got Sneak Attack. So, probably eating an Emrakul next turn. But our opponent will go to 7 on theirs, so we could be able to put them under a bit of pressure. Although we have no cards in hand. We might be in a pretty tricky spot, to be honest. Although if they Grizzlebrand, they can't draw any stuff off it. Swift Spear is not amazing, to be honest. But it is not a land, so not the worst draw. So opponent's going to go to 8. And they're going to go to 6. And let's see if they can sneak something into play. I assume if they tapped out for show and tell, they did, but they're preordaining. So maybe they don't. Bottom and top. Don't like the top. Top implies they found something. Okay, they found... Probably going to be Emrakul, isn't it? Yep. Emrakul, what's that Annihilator? 6, okay. Oh, they've got another thing? Grizzlebrand. Okay, we're dead. See, now, I feel like this is, from what I've gathered, the kind of the Achilles heel for Burn a bit, which is combo decks. Because combo decks are just quicker. So, what is not great here? I assume this deck has to use a lot of cantrips to get stuff. Searing Blaze is probably super weak. What's got the least?
I think you might just want to board out your expensive stuff if you need to take stuff out.
Maybe. I mean, there's Exquisite Firecraft, but that can't be countered, which I like.
That's decent.
Vortex switches off Grizzlebrand, lifelinking them out of range. Fire Blast is effectively 0, and Rift Bolt's effectively 0. I think it's one of. I think it might be Chain Lightning.
And what are you boarding stuff out for?
2 Pyrostatic Pillars and 2 Pyroblast.
I don't know what Pyroblast does.
It basically counters a blue spell or destroys a blue permanent for 1.
These? Although, what blue permanents are they gonna have?
Show and tell.
That's not permanent.
Oh no, it isn't. But yeah, but it gets counter, yeah, and if they're going to be playing like Force and whatnot, so yeah, I'm going to take out Chain Lightning because they can return it, and I feel like this deck doesn't run anything that we're going to Chain Lightning to death. This hand seems okay. Keepable. So one thing I've really not got the grasp of yet is sideboarding. I need to really see if there's like a sideboard guide out there for this deck, because it would help a lot. There's also just like not knowing the format. Like when your opponent goes like Island Brainstorm, it's just like you have no idea what they could have. It could be like Delver decks or 4-color or Sneak Attack or some other combo deck. Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal. I'm not feeling great about this. There's a Show and Tell. Well, we're going to get an Eidolon into play. And they've got a Omniscience. Oh no. Oh no. There's a Sneak Attack. They can cast spells from their hand without paying a mana cost. So, preordain. Oh, there's a card on top there. Yeah, this is kind of what I feel Burn's problem is, like, combo decks just are quicker.
Yeah, you've not really got any way to interact with them.
No, that's the problem. This is why I was considering, like, brewing up a blue-red. Just from the perspective of, like, having Force of Will. Well, let's see how this goes, because this will be, hopefully... I don't know. I guess I don't know the rules. So Brainstorm apparently doesn't trigger Eidolon, or did that not go onto the stack? Oh no, it went onto the stack. They just took it quickly because I'm also yielding. So they're on 13. I go to 10, and we're going to attack for 6. Hopefully it'll be enough. Oh no, down to 4. And I don't have a red source at the moment, so who knows. But I guess... oh, that'll be a red source. So Misty... down to 3. Volcanic Island. That's the red source. Ponder... down to 1.
I mean, if you survive a turn...
Survive a turn. Like, I guess the worst case scenario is Emrakul. Grizzlebrand's not great. No! Ah! Beat turn 1 Omniscience!
Like, I mean, I guess you just keep a hand like that even if you don't have anything to do with it.
Well, yeah, I know, it seemed like it was going to put out enough pressure. Like, I think what actually didn't help there is our opponent's show and telled, and obviously they got the Omniscience out, but that also got an Eidolon out for us. Man, beating turn 1 Omniscience, didn't think we'd do that. But this is kind of what I like about this deck, is just... the damage adds up. Like, that was like, the turn 2, you got 2 Swift Spears and a Lava Spike. Between that is like 7 damage.
Oh, I will go and check on our bread.
I think I set a timer for it, but
I did,
can't.
and it's beeping.
Oh, I can't hear. Opponent was against a 6. We're going to keep this because it's got Rift Bolt, Spike Bolt, and Pyrostatic Pillar. It's not as quick as the last hand, but, you know. It's not like we can mulligan our way to better hands. I just realised I'm not looking at chat at all. That's probably a bit of a mistake. Sorry if anyone's been saying anything. I can actually check that. Almost share my stream key. That's not a good idea. Okay, Connor's here. And Mutara. Hello. It is VMA. Okay, cool. Turn 1 Preordain. Connor, I think the plan is Tom's going to play this in GP. I've got a few decks I want to brew and see how they work out. Sorry, I didn't have chat open. I didn't know why I didn't. But yeah, there's a few decks I want to try out for Birmingham. I honestly don't know enough about it to know if they're going to work at all. But like, I did have the idea of kind of like a deck very burn heavy, but kind of blue red for counter spells and Delver. Opponent's pondering. Opponent burned a low spell on a preordain, so I don't know if they kept a no land or anything. I don't know enough about show and tell. I guess I'm going to drop a pyrostatic. No, I'm going to drop an Eidolon because the Eidolon can attack next turn. Hello.
Declared it done.
Nice. Is it hollow?
I think so.
Cool.
Honestly, hard to tell, but it sounds like it might be.
Fair enough. The intermittent noise is that we are making bread for the first time. Okay, so off comes the Rift Bolt. Apparently you're supposed to put on a cooling rack, by the way.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay, I'm sure it's fine. Oh, I still have to yield to Rift Bolt, and that's the worst. Okay, so Rift Bolt down to 16. Price of Progress will be a nice one. Yeah, so let's drop this Eidolon. This might get forced. It doesn't.
I feel like if they're not countering, they don't have it.
Yeah, we'll have to see. They're on 2, so they're on 2 lands, so they're going to fetch. Let's see what they get. I have noticed a Volcanic Island, so the price progress is now up to 4 damage. There's a 3rd land.
Do we have a price of progress?
We do.
Oh, nice.
There's a sneak attack. So we could be in trouble next turn. Oh, Pyroblast is a nice one. So I'm going to hold up Price of Progress, but also that can be holding up Pyroblast with mana to daze, to pay for a daze if this deck runs that. Oh, I do like a Bedlam Reveler, and if not, I can Pyroblast Bolt. Although my fear is they're just going to sneak attack something big into play.
I mean, I'm not entirely convinced that we can't kill them with burn if they do that.
Well, like, the problem is if it's Emrakul, then
Oh, we just
we'll lose all our lands.
I guess it's either Emrakul or Grizzlebrand, isn't it? So.
Yeah, Grizzlebrand is like slightly more recoverable. Okay, they are putting something in. Yep, it's Emrakul. That's not amazing. So I guess I've got a... Oh, they got another thing. If they've got a Grizzlebrand as well, then we're just dead again.
Why?
Well, we beat turn 1 Omniscience, but we couldn't beat 2 games where they managed to sneak attack out Emrakul and Grizzlebrand in the same turn.
I don't know how often that happens.
Yeah.
I don't know how mad to be.
I think that...
That's fairly normal for the deck.
No idea. Connor, good to hear you've bought into Pauper. Just so you know, the Games Den is actually running a Winnerbox Pauper tournament this month. I think it's on the 24th, but I can send you the link after the stream. But there's a lot of hyper in it around the store. Like, I know me and Tom are both going to play it. I think Ian is as well. Don't know about the rest.
I mean, people at the Games Den are really into Pauper.
Yeah, that's true. It's a fairly Pauper-heavy store in some ways.
Like, they skipped out a modern winner box to go to a Pauper tournament.
Yeah.
So,
I'm keeping the hand with 12 points of burn in it to start. Arid Mesa. What does that mean?
I honestly had assumed that no one was watching us.
It's because I didn't have chat open.
No, it's more just the time.
Fair. Okay, so I'm lava spiking now because I believe what you're supposed to do is use up things like lava spike and chain lightning first rather than bolt, for example, where you can actually use that to target things like Thalia.
It's on the 27th.
The 27th, Connor. Let's kill this Thalia. Price of Progress could be a bit underpowered against this. Although at least I've got a Richard and Port out, so...
There's a £5 reduction on entry if you book and pay in advance.
And there's a £5 of... Okay, you can't make it, but there was a £5 reduction on injury. Oh, you're judging at GP London. Oh, nice. Are you doing, like, side events or main event, or do you not know yet? Well, there's Stoneforge Mystic. Thanks for getting a Batter Skull.
Ugh. Man, I hate Legacy.
That's fine. Let's Chain Lightning this.
I'm just like, damn, why don't we have a Braid?
Honestly, a Braid probably would be a horrendous sideboard card in this deck.
I know, there's probably things that do the same thing more efficiently, right?
Don't know. There's a Wasteland. So price progress is up to 4. There's another Stoneforge Mystic. So this is probably getting Kite. It is. And this will be Kite. Yep. I found D&T an interesting one because sometimes you can just leave them with nothing to equip to, or sometimes you can just race them. However, having drawn many lands has not been ideal. So let's Chain Lightning this. And Goblin Guide.
How are you feeling about your price of progress?
It's alright.
Well, it's mainly that, are those wastelands, or
One's a Wasteland, one's a Richard and Port.
if they're tapped out, you can do that so that they won't be able to do the thing where they sacrifice their lands to stop themselves getting damaged.
True, but I'm kind of okay with that as it stands.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, no, nice. It's getting good. Like, I'm glad you're getting to GP. That's a pretty big step forward, right?
Oh,
There's another
maybe
non-basic.
Connor can come judge at the game stand. We should ask.
I think Connor knows about the game stand. I think.
No, I know, but
So I'm going to price progress now to get him for 6.
they are bringing in outside judges. So
Fair.
oh, my computer sucks.
Hmm.
Buy a laptop.
I don't think we're going to get around this situation. So they're going to gain... They're going to be up to gaining 6 next turn. If we lava spike them down from that, they'll be down to 10. Yeah, I don't think we're recovering from Batterskull and Gito. Surprise progress isn't amazing here, it doesn't seem. I also kind of like taking out Goblin Guides. We could bring in Pillar, Smash to Smithereens, and then Searing Blades and Searing Bloods to kill them creatures and blow up them things. I don't even know what a prismatic geoscope is. Yeah, it's actually the games don't decide to run that Pauper tournament on the KP weekend.
I think they know no one's going.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like at Young's, but like I don't feel like anyone from like our store is going to the Grand Prix.
Is it sealed?
Yeah, it's Rivals sealed.
Ugh, that's why.
I'll keep this.
No, to be fair, if it wasn't so hard and expensive to get to London, I'd definitely be up for going for side events. But I'm just
It's like we've got to go to London in February and May. It's just not great timing, really, is it?
also, you know, I have to go to university, which screws things up a bit. Because if you can't do the Friday of a GP, it's a bit like, what's even the point?
Yeah. I wonder if we blow up the ether vial here. I feel like we do.
Give it a go.
I mean, it means we get in for a 5 damage this turn. And if they were relying on that, then it's pretty good for us. If they play a creature out next turn, as long as it's not Thalia, we can Searing Blaze. Yeah, we like the idea of doing what we did at Grand Prix Birmingham, which was, ooh, Aether Sworn Canonist, that's good for if we draw a land, that's pretty good for us. Damn it.
Why did you need a land? Oh, the searing thingy only do its thingy if you think. That was ineloquent. I apologise.
Yeah, so in Birmingham we just played all the side events, which was pretty good.
We had so many packs.
We did end up with so many packs. Let's drop the Idol out here. And like the idea of going to like, we played a couple games of Pauper yesterday, and I've played a little bit online, and it does seem like a pretty sweet format. I'm really glad that they're doing that now. That Farley was not ideal.
Yeah.
We're still in a good. I think we're still in a pretty good spot if we can just find a land.
Yeah, that would help.
The Swift Spear is also still just causing a few problems for them. Ugh.
That's like the opposite of a land.
Can't even do a little Searing Blaze trick at the end because it's like I need to pay for it. Well, let's just full cost this Lava Spike then. Takes them down to 8.
And you can attack with the Swift Spear.
Yeah. I didn't. I could have attacked with it there, but
Why
yeah,
not?
that might. I don't know.
I thought
That
was
probably
like
that
a
probably
little
would have
attack.
that probably would have been better. Yeah. Sanctum Prelate. So they're going to take 6. So non-creature spells with a converted mana cost equal to a number can't be cast. I'm guessing this is going to be on 1. Yes. So we can't cast anything with 1, but to be honest, I'm kind of okay with that right now. I think a land wins it for us. The Fire Blast should get us there. Oh no, we've got to pay for that Fire Blast. Oh, Rift Bolt. Rift Bolt was a handy draw. What Legacy deck do you have? Because like a lot of people have been picking up Legacy here.
Ian's got D&T. Is it D&T?
Yeah, Ian's got D&T. We'll be picking up Burn. And maybe one of the brews I figure out. Gem is, if you can get Lion's Eye Diamond's going to pick up Storm, and Matlay's going to pick up Eldrazi.
Eldrazi? Why not elves? Oh, I guess. Guys,
Yeah.
great.
And then there's someone here who can lend Esper Stoneblade or Elves. Yeah, that's a good point. I could do the Fire Blast, couldn't I? Oh, you've got D&T as well. I want to see you and Ian play a D&T mirror.
Wouldn't you have to pay the extra for the...
Yeah, I can because it's just as Connor
Alright,
points
can you
out in the chat,
sacrifice
because
them?
you're sacrificing them, you're not tapping them. That's Connor. It's very helpful having a judge in the chat because it means that if I ask the amount of times on stream where I'm just like, what now? Um,
It's so weird having as many judges as we do at the game stand now.
yeah, that is a bit weird. So I,
I still can't get my head around the fact that Tim's a judge. It's just like, nah.
yeah. I could attack with a Swift Spear, but I'm pretty confident. I know.
You don't need to, do you?
No, I don't need to.
Oh, you might as well.
I guess I'm just going to wait for some opportunity to Fire Blast. I don't know if White has instant speed life gain. Actually, it does. It can Swords to Plowshare something of its own. So I guess I'm going to wait for an opportunity to play around that.
I'm not getting my coursework done.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Like, I don't really need to do anything, to be honest. I'm just fretting.
Yeah, the owner became a judge and a couple other people became a judge as well. I'm not sure for the reason why. I don't know if it's just that they've always got someone as a backup just in case. Just because the people who become judges are the people who are normally just asked whenever there's a rules question anyway.
Connor knows John, right?
I don't know if Connor does. Flicker Wisp. Do you mean John Gree or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what's surprised as well that the PPTQ isn't being the next PPTQ isn't being done by Ray. It's being done by someone I don't know. Ugh. Okay, I think we now do have a plan, which is, in fact, I'm going to do it now. Oh no, because I have to pay for the bolt.
But I'm still a bit confused why you haven't just done the fire blast.
Because they can Swords to Plowshares in response and survive.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah,
What have they got to swords to plowshare?
they can plow their own creatures.
Yeah, but how big are they?
I think they're big enough. I
Well,
think
you're dealing 4, and their biggest thing 3 power.
true.
Well, I think you should be okay. I think you might be being overly cautious.
Maybe. Our
Also,
opponent.
if they cast swords to plowshares, they'll die because they're idle on.
Fair. I guess now we
I
can.
think you're fine.
But now our opponent's lost connection to the game, so we have to wait. Oh, fair enough, that'd be why. Yeah, we probably had lethal there. I guess now, yeah.
No, you did. You did have me.
We just have lethal now. But our opponent's disconnected, so now we got dead air to fill.
Oh no. Don't expect me to have a personality.
That's alright, I don't. Okay, so when our opponent's back, we're going to Fire Blast and kill them. See, I find this deck complicated to play at the best of times. Just when I'm streaming, it's just makes it trickier and easier to miss obvious things. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the PBTQ. We were in the cafe today because before every set we go to a cafe or pub and start brewing decks there. Over a pint and or hot chocolate. And we started brewing vampires, which I'm quite excited about, and also like I've kind of written down about 12 decks I want to try, ranging from like the obvious ones, which are like the pirates and merfolk, you know, sticking true to my type, all the way through to I've got an interesting idea, which I'll explain after I've sneezed. Thank God for having a mute button on the microphone headset, which is Green Black Reanimator or Sultai Reanimator
Oh,
with the new Enchant Land.
I do really like that.
Yeah,
God, it's excellent.
right. Our opponent's back, so let's just kill them. Pay 1. Yeah, so I think like there's the Enchant Land, Big Lily still exists in Standard, Scarab God is also around. And then, to be honest, I need to look into if there's more than that. I know Ever After rotated,
I mean,
but it's an interesting one because I guess you can go Sultai to play the Scarab God, which seems best because it's the Scarab God, or you can go White and play like Refurbish, um, and then like refurbish like the new White Dinosaur. I'm excited about Pirates as well. I think both Red Black and Blue Black are pretty exciting.
I mean, red black aggro is already good, so
Exactly. Um,
I know it's a different deck, but I adore it.
E for Vile. I'm gonna suspend a Rift Bolt here. It's the easiest way to deal with if they just play. Oh no, if they play Farley, then we could just rift it. The Vile's annoying, for sure though. There's a Richard import. I guess with D&T, the tricky thing if you play out your Rift Bolt early is that it does make it. It means they can focus on the mana denial plan, but also they can just like vile stuff in like Thalia at instant speed. Ooh, good. They're lucky they ported us, because otherwise that Smash the Smithereens would blow them out a bit here. Yeah, that's the thing. I like the idea of the tempo version. I'm gonna hold priority here and get out.
So it's a bit random. Do you know what underlining a thing in blue means in Word?
No idea.
Oh, I think it might be like throwing shade at me about my coursework.
I'm sure it isn't.
Sorry.
Yeah, because I actually I think one of the more underrated cards at the moment is that Ooh, another Smash the Smithereens is pretty handy here actually. Let's Chain Lightning here, and then we can smash in upkeep. Or in response to something. Connor says apparently that means fragmenting.
Okay. I think it's it also reckons analyze isn't a word, so I'm feeling.
It's probably trying to do the American version of it.
No, it told me to write analyses, which definitely doesn't make sense.
Huh.
So.
Opponent's going to get a bad score, but we have the Smash the Smithereens for that, so it's quite nice. And we have a Searing Blood for the Stoneforge. Main concern here would be if they drop a Thalia first. Oh, they played another Aether Vial. Didn't draw a land for that though. Gonna keep my mana up here because they're gonna probably port before doing the Batterskull, I guess. Oh no, they're doing it now. Oh right, I forgot how much this costs. That's a mistake because I could have suspended a Rift Bolt there. Oh no, Connor says wait shit, that means grammar. Connor's just so useful. Judge questions, word help, info about going on things. Opponent's down to 2 lands. I've also completely lost what I was talking about something.
Brewing in the Arctic?
Yeah, pirates. So like I really like the idea of the pirates list that's ooh, blinking that Stoneforge. Don't like that. I guess I could have 5 last in response, but I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, there's a Gite. I think we just have to Searing Blood whatever they Gite. Let's suspend a Rift Bolt. Hopefully their other card isn't Mother of Runes. Yeah, so the one card I think might be really good in Pirates is the cancel that only costs blue if you're attacking, because I think that could be like super powerful, and I'd be very surprised if it wasn't.
I disagree.
I just think in that deck you're not playing anything above 3,
Uh,
and just having the ability to like attack with impunity in the air and just like, oh, they tried to settle the wreckage, 1 mana counterspell. I think it's going to be pretty powerful.
I suppose I kind of get that. It's mostly insurance against settle, I think.
I don't think. I mean, oh no, the play here has to be Fire Blast them, right? Well, let's float some mana first. Because then we have the mana to Pyrostatic Pillar anyway. Oh, they're fetching. In response, Bolt. Yeah!
I wasn't expecting you to win that one. So, good job.
D&T's been a very interesting one so far. Yeah, I'm uncertain about it as well. Like I have to admit what I'm doing is like, thankfully through somewhat of success with this deck, the 5-0 league mentioned earlier, filled up my like library of stuff I can sell because I don't need it quite nicely. So I might just jam a bunch of standard at the start of next week once it comes out on MitGo. Although I am regretting some cards I haven't picked up yet, like Metallic Mimic, which is probably a pretty obvious one. This hand isn't great, but I think you keep it. On the play again, which is always a help. We're against Bob's Bread. Because I think we've got a fair bit of a lot of the decks, and I think a lot of the tribes got a really big power up. I think pirates and merfolk in particular. I think vampires and dinosaurs both have a bunch of potential as soon as someone figures out the correct build. Ancient Tomb could be bad news. Eldrazi Temple probably is bad news. But it means Price of Progress should be very good. Opponent is going to have to discard though. That's interesting. They got rid of City of Traitors. Eldrazi I found a bit of a weird one to play against so far. Fort Not Seer. So they're going to play Ancient Tomb and probably Fort Not Seer us. And honestly, I kind of wonder if we Price of Progress, then Fire Blast the Fort Not. Oh, they play Eldrazi Temple instead, which is exactly the same outcome. Okay, so I'm going to trigger on the stack, hold priority. Price of Progress. Fire Blast, targeting Fort Not Seer. So they get to choose either Sulfuric Vortex. Oh, they're going to take Swift Spear, obviously. Maybe I should let I probably should let. No. Oh no, they took Sulfuric Vortex instead. That surprises me. Because if we Fire Blasted, we're like so far away from it. But hey, I'll take it. Ulamog. Okay. They're drawing an Ulamog. That's good to know. How far are they off Ulamog? 6 mana at the moment. I've got an Ancient Tomb, but I have to take 2 for that. See, the one problem, like, even though, like, because I've got the chat on my phone, it fades out because my phone isn't active. I'm gonna have a ton of. Oh, you're gonna have. Yeah. Oh, you're getting paid in Rivals for the GP. Oblivion Sower. So what did they hit? 2 Eidolons, which isn't great here against them, and 2 Mountains. I mean, whenever attacking again. Well, whenever attacking successfully again, I should say. Another Mountain is not what we wanted. So let's see what our opponent blocks here. Do they block Swift Spear or do they block Goblin Guide? So, revealing Cloud Post. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. There is a chance we get Ulamog next turn. Okay, so we got in there. So I'm going to suspend the Rift Bolt and play the mountain. Oh, can't play the mountain. Okay, that's fine. Two boxes of product and cash. Nice. Oh, life gain. That's not fair. But it looks like they can't, unless they got like a Simian Spirit Guide, I don't think they can Ulamog this turn. Fort Knotsir is fine. So do they attack with a Bolivian Soul here? Because I guess if we draw another Fire Blast, we could Fire Blast the Fort Knight out of the way. Draw a card and get him with Goblin Guide. We've got a lot of outs here, which is nice. I think we have to Rift Bolt to the face here. Because there's just so many draws we can... Oh, Searing Blaze. Landfall. Holding up the land worked. Nice. Yeah, it sounds like the GP is going to be really sweet for you. So I think Eidolon kind of sucks here. And I think we bring in 3 Smash to Smithereens because of Chalice. And honestly, I guess Searing... No, because we're never killing anything with this. This might be alright. Yeah, that kills a Fort Knotsir, so sure. This seems like a fine plan. Like mulliganing. Yeah, it's interesting with Legacy, because sometimes, like, obviously you'll never win on the ground against Eldrazi, but sometimes they just, like, deal 2 damage to themselves off this. This is going to be a Chalice, probably. That's a Chalice, that's fine for us, though. Because unless they Chalice for 2 next turn, we're just going to smash that. Oh, if you get Amsterdam, that'd be sweet. Fort Knotsir. Oh no, that was really bad. That's the Smash to Smithereens gone.
Oh no.
Oh man, opponent mulligan to 5 and rip to that. That's unfortunate. Well, it's not over just yet. It depends what else they do.
You can eventually kill Fort Knotsir.
I can eventually kill the Fort Knotsir.
And then you get to draw a card, and maybe that card will be another Smash to Smithereens.
So they're going to sacrifice the City of Traitors and they gain a life. Another land was not what we wanted there. More life gain. Fran Dynamo. Is this the normal Eldrazi list? It doesn't feel like it's the normal Eldrazi list. I don't recognise the Glimmer Posts and Fran Dynamos. Oh, they didn't attack. But we didn't draw anything either, so... Like, if we do get rid of this Chalice, we're in fantastic shape. Vesuva. So, all the life gain is quite annoying, to be honest. Trinisphere is also super annoying. But, to be honest, we've drawn enough lands that it's not that much of a concern. And they're Hellbent now. There's the Smash to Smithereens. So... Smash... I mean, everything costing 3 mana now is probably going to be annoying, but if we draw a land... if we draw a land, we can double something to Fort Knotsir. Chain Lightning, that's not going to do it. Oh, right, I know what we do. We play Goblin Guide, and then we are just going to chump for a while, I think. Until we find an answer. They drew a land. Oh, is that Ulamog? Yeah, that's game. I thought when our opponent mulliganed to 5 we'd be in good shape, but turn 1 Chalice, turn 2 Fort Knotsir for our Smash was not great. But hey, we're back on the play for this one, so... Triple Goblin Guide.
Well, we'll be very vulnerable to a chalice.
We will.
I mean, you might be able to get them down before
I mean,
that becomes an issue.
they can turn one chalice pretty easily. It's just kind of one of the things you got to accept about this matchup. Grim Monolith.
What does that do?
Add 3 to your mana pool. But it doesn't untap during your untap step. Another Grim Monolith. And a Fran Dynamo. So our opponent...
Is this dead?
I don't know. Sphere of Resistance. Everything costs 1 more to cast. So how much... I won't lie, I'm a bit confused.
You forget that everything costs one more.
It's almost like a weird workshop deck. So how much mana are they going to have next turn? 2, 5? But they need ways to untap this? I'm really confused. What did they draw? Ratchet Bomb. That's really quite poor for us. City of Traitors. So now we're up to 7 mana. Fort Not Seer. Okay. What are they going to take here? Like, Bolt? They can't Chalice now because it's going to cost 1 more. So they took the other Goblin Guide. Ah, Sulfuric Vortex, you'd have been so nice. So we attack with both. Or re-reveal. Glimmer Post. And Kozilek. This is not the usual Eldrazi list. This is like Eldrazi Ramp, I think. So do that. Finish this off. Draw a card. Land would be really nice. Swift Spear is not as amazing. I guess I can start untapping Grim Monolith soon, but normally the power of this card is if you can untap it in a powerful way, but I don't know how they're doing that. Just a bit confused.
What's the name of that Colossus from Kaladesh?
Metalwork Colossus.
Maybe they just cast him in Metalwork Colossus on turn 2 and that's their plan.
Don't think it's that. So sacrifice City of Traitors and get the Glimmer Post out. They already added the mana. 5. Untap a Grim Monolith, okay. That's one way to get ahead with it. I guess they might spend their turn here untapping Grim Monoliths. To then cast Kozilek next turn. They'd have 3, 6, 9, 11, 12, but they've got to pay 1 more for it. There's Ratchet Bomb. Which makes me kind of not want to play our Swift Spear out. So I think what we do is just keep on just attacking the stuff. So this will be taken down to 7. Another City of Traitors. Take them down to 4. So took up Ratchet Bomb. We're not going to get in with a Goblin Guide next turn. We've got the Burn in hand. It's just whether we ever get to resolve. But then again, I guess even if they resolve Kozilek, how many 1-mana spells are they going to have that they're going to be able to discard? Like, Legacy's confusing at the best of times when you kind of know what your opponent's doing, but when you've got no idea what your opponent's doing, that's a whole different kettle of fish. And I still think our biggest fear is Ulamog, which they could cast. Ah, gaining life. stop that. Okay, so they're destroying Ratchet Bomb. Okay, a land is really quite nice because then we can suspend Rift Bolt. And then Bolt as well. So hopefully, what we need them here is to not gain a bunch of life. I feel like anything else and we're kind of okay. Ah! God damn it. Running Glimmer Posts is just so annoying. We were so close. Clouds to the Void on 1. Okay, well I'm on Bolt now. I got 3, 6, 9, 11 mana still, but they need... So they can cast this Kozilek. So there's Kozilek. Discard a card with CMCX, counter target spell that costs X. Got you. Rift Bolt. Comes off suspend. Got a lot of live draws here. Like, I mean, I don't know what converted mana costs they've got to counter things, but we've got out. This guy Crinosphere, so they countered that. Let's hope they don't have something that costs 4. Because if they do, I'm pretty sure we just lost. I see 6. Oh, 6. It's more likely they'll have 6. Although, I figure if my opponent had something, they would have done it by now. For some reason, I don't know why I always think Fire Blast is... Oh, yes! Boom, we won, yes. Skill game. Okay, so, one last round to go. And then we'll stop the stream there because of aforementioned bread that's being baked, because we've got to make some pasta and put it in the bread.
I don't think we can actually put it in the bread today. I don't think we made the right kind of bread, unfortunately.
Okay, but we can dip the bread in it, right?
Yeah.
Yes! And we'll also refund our money on this one so far, and we'll get a treasure chest.
Do you mind if I go and eat some bread now, because I'm really hungry?
Only if you bring me some as well.
I can bring the bread up so you can see.
Can I eat the bread?
Yes.
Okay, dibs.
What? No, I'm having bread.
We're both having bread.
I mean, it might be a terrible bread, but to be honest, I don't believe Paul Hollywood. I think all bread is beautiful.
Fair. Yeah, this deck is super fun, and like, it's funny. I've played against Eldrazi once before, but I went Chalice on 1, Chalice on 2, still won. That was a good day. But yeah, this is also part of my New Year's resolution to stream once a week and do more broad Magic writing and content. Because I actually used to do a fair bit of recorded content as well, which I might go back to, especially with Rivals, because I think Rivals has got a lot of sweet decks you can build between Pirates and Dinosaurs and Merfolk. I might have another go at Blue-Green Fish with Rivals. And kind of try... I think I'm going to drop Kamena's Speaker in that for sure. I still don't like that card, and I think Curse Catcher is just much better. It definitely attacks for... I mean, it attacks for 1 less, but Curse Catcher provides you so much upside in a lot of matches. Like, there's certainly a groan test for your opponents when you go turn 1 Curse Catcher, and they're just like, well, I'm a combo deck and now I'm a turn later than I intended.
I think it might be a little bit underbaked, but...
Oh, God.
I brought it up because I thought you might take a picture before you said.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a good point. I would like to do that. You're going to disappear for a second, chat, because I've got to take a photo.
Am I in the photo?
Yep.
No!
Haha. Okay, now I'll just take one without you.
Cool.
Sweet. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but baking's the best. Oh god, almost missed the match. So, will we go 4 and 1? Will we go 3 and 2? I don't really mind because I've managed to stream just at the end, and
It looks quite good. It's not done that thing where it gets scrunched up at the bottom.
the spread smells great. Don't worry, I am going to mute myself while I eat. Also, mulligan in this hand. I'm on the draw, so we're doomed. This isn't great, but I'll keep it. I can go on the bottom. Update on the bread situation. It's fucking great. You should all learn to make your own bread, because it wasn't that hard. Actually, all the kneading was pretty rough, but I didn't even do that much, so... So...
Consider your time to be worthless.
So, Git probe Watery Grave. This is a Cabal therapy. I'm expecting it to name Eidolon, but no, it's a Deathrite Shaman.
Oh, you're so true. Actually, named Eidolon.
We drew a third Eidolon. So I'm going to Chain Lightning that, because Deathrite Shaman should not be allowed to live. If we draw a land, and this is some sort of 4-colour deck, then I think we're in pretty stonking shape. Ponder from the opponent. It's always interesting against these decks because they can sort of play around Price of Progress. And they know our hand. If they do find a Cabal therapy, they're going to name Eidolon in a heartbeat. But they know, because they know about Fire Blast and Price of Progress, they kind of have an idea of what they are effectively on, life-wise. No Shuffle and Delta, so Cabal therapy could be incoming. But instead, nothing. Daze is also a possibility here, but given we have so many Eidolons, I'm kind of willing to run that risk. Eidolon resolves.
I was not expecting that.
I wasn't either, to be honest.
Maybe just go kill it.
Wasteland is great because it's terrible against us. Fatal
Yeah.
Push. I'm kind of happy with that because we will run them down with Eidolons eventually. And they've got to be careful because they know we've got Price of Progress. And that's probably why they haven't Feckless Delta, because they know getting it on basic means they're on 6. Mountains are actually an okay draw here because now we can't get dazed. We get Flusterstormed. Okay, so the other Eidolon resolves. At this point, they know we've got Price of Progress and Fire Blast. They won't know about the third Eidolon, Hidden. Another Fatal Push. So here's the fetch. For Bayou. Death Shadow.
Oh,
Death Shadow is a deck in Legacy? I had no idea.
this must be strange for them.
So Git Probe down to 9. Wait, does Git Probe down to 9 kill them unless they have a force? Oh, did they cast it? So, if we press, they're going to take 6. Yeah, I think they're dead. But I'm going to play this Goblin Guide out just in case. So it can block. Stop on my opponent's turn. Oh, they're not just dead, because they could Wasteland their own wasteland. Let's see how this goes. Sylvan Library. Fine with that. Kind of want to grow a land now. Okay, I'm going to play out Eidolon. Because we can hold Fire Blast up in case we take damage off it, and this means we've got 2 blockers for the Death Shadow. That's the Force of Will, so not too sad about that. At least they've already lost a life for Force of Will. They might take it back. Force of Will on Git Probe, and they're down to 1 card in hand. I guess they get to Sylvan Library. But they've got to be very careful about putting stuff back, because they know they're on 4. This is an interesting one. Because obviously we don't want to grow their Death Shadow, but at the same time. They went top. Well, they have to go top, otherwise they're just dead.
Can't they?
Yeah.
I don't know what card they cast.
Sylvan Library, they have to pay 4 to keep the cards they draw.
Oh.
They're tapping out Gurmagla. There's the mountain that I kind of wanted a while ago. Because the problem is they can wasteland and price progress. This is a tricky one actually.
What's the problem?
So, because if I price of progress, they wasteland their own land and they only take 2 down to 6, and that's not lethal.
Okay,
So I
and then we're probably down the crack back.
yeah, maybe. They can only go down to 4, which would make Death Shadow a 9/9, plus the Angler is a 5/5. So I think we're okay if we Sulfuric Vortex here, and make our opponent lose some life on their upkeep. They could have another counterspell here, to be fair. But it also stops any shenanigans like a Deathrite Shaman or anything else that could just gain life instantly in Legacy. Okay. So I think we upkeep Bolt Progress Fire Blast. See if they tap anything here. So let's float 2 mana and go for this Fire Blast. Wait. Yeah. Because this way they might have to tap stuff in order to survive. And they're hellbent, so this should be lethal. Hey.
Stop there.
Yeah, you're a lot better at figuring out the math quickly than me. I feel like Tormod's Crypt is not against decks like this, it's more against like decks that like are trying to instant speed past Inflames, like Tendrils. This feels better against this kind of deck. Pyroblast. Exquisite Firecraft I think comes in. Price Progress is good. Yeah, he was heck bent, so I felt okay with it. If our opponent's playing Death's Shadows, I kind of wonder if Goblin Guide's a little bit here. Swift Spear gets in for more damage. I'm actually also going to take out 2 Swift Spears for Pyrostatic Pillars, because I feel like the pillars will be good, and I feel like if we take out lots of creatures, it makes their photo pushes a bit worse. There's a lot of damage here. So we've got 9 damage already. Price would be a bunch anyway. What are the odds of us drawing a land? Legacy burn, legacy burn, 20, 60, 20 out of 53, 19 out of 53, it's about 1 in 3 chance. I'm gonna keep. Okay, bread is gone, so I'll stop muting myself. Fire of the Lava Spike first, because Chain Lightning might kill something. Drawing a second Fire Blast was far from ideal. So, shocking down to 14, 13, if they go down this will be 11, so Death Shadow would be a 2-2.
I'm really all in on that.
Well, I guess it depends. Oh, Hint to Turak. That's Price Progress Eidolon. That's not the best, but it's also not the worst because we couldn't cast them at the moment. Well, there's that mountain. If I Chain Lightning now, they go down to 7. I think I've kind of got to save them for now. No, I don't think I do. Because they're sorcery speed, I don't want to get like Cabal Therapied or like Hymn to Turak and lose them. Because even if they Hymn to Turak, well, I probably wouldn't Fire Blast in this spot. This is an interesting state of affairs. Ponder. Yeah, this is interesting. You don't often have your opponent down or to 7 on 3. Breeding Pool tapped. Here comes a shadow, I guess. Deathrite Shaman. That's an interesting one. Would love to draw like no, I took out the Searing Blaze, didn't I? Mountain's not amazing, and although it does mean if our next draw is also Mountain, then we can double Fire Blast. Also quite handily, there are no creatures in the graveyards. This Deathrite is not amazing.
Does it have to be their graveyard?
No, oh no, there is a
Yeah,
creature in the
I was gonna say,
graveyard. Sorry, I didn't see the eye. It's because it got him to Turakt. So they're currently on 9, basically. So this is the thing, when they're playing a bunch of stuff like Gurmag Angler and Tasigur and Death Shadow, I don't really want to not. Ooh. No, I'm gonna fire that off.
It's running like ass.
You really need to restart it, I think.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm
Oh, they've tapped Death right here for a Death Shadow. So if we draw anything that isn't a blank, we'd have been good there. Now we're in a bad spot. Going to 2. So they can go up to 4. So we gotta find Fire Blast here, I guess. Lava Spike will not be enough. Well, let's see if they forget about their Deathrite Shaman. Yep. That was close. Very much the tricky thing. I mean, I guess our opponent went for it, because having the 10-10 Death Shadow would have been lethal, but like it did put him in a position that basically, if we drew anything that wasn't a land there, I think we'd have been in decent shape. I guess they would have also survived through Pyrostatic Pillar or Rift Bolt. And this is definitely an interesting one. And the hint to Turak ended up being pretty vital, because if we'd have kept anything that wasn't one of the Fire Blasts, we would have been in pretty excellent shape, I think. Definitely going first. I like this hand. Swift Spear, Lava Spike, the Vortex. And the Vortex does kind of help them, but the lack of life gain is also pretty important. Also means we can do those upkeep shenanigans. So they are going to go to probably 16 here. Ooh, Expedition Watery Grave, very fancy. So there's the Deathrite. Exquisite Firecraft is nice. So Lava Spike down to 13. I assume Deathrite is not going to block here, and we'll get in for down to 11. Next turn we'll go to see if we can resolve Vortex. So adding a mana. Is this going to be a him? It is. Him took Fire Blast Mountain. I would really rather have kept the mountain there. I think I've got to get rid of that. So they're actually down to... They're on 1 land. So I think this incentivizes me to take out that Deathrite, rather than just go to the face. And this also turns on our Exquisite Firecraft. I think we're in a decent spot where we don't have too many dead draws at this point. Another Deathrite? That would make sense. Yeah, it does. Another Deathrite. Land would be very good here. There it is. So as long as this doesn't get forced, and I would expect there to be a force, but Exquisite Firecraft is also quite important to keep. Oh, Daze, of course. But they're very limited on lands at this point.
What? Where are all their lands?
They dazed one back.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to 7. If they've got the Deathrite Shaman, they can... Oh, they drew a land. Go down to 5, though. I notice there's a Death Shadow, and they can gain... No, they can't gain any life at this point. We definitely have ways we can just win here. Rift Bolt certainly helps. So the plan is Rift Bolt and then Exquisite Firecraft. Because they still don't have green mana. Oh, of course they draw green mana. Damn it. Wait, are any creatures around? Oh, they got their own Deathrite Shaman, so that will put them at 7. Although that's still lethal at the moment. I guess ideal situation is we just are able to Rift Bolt, our opponent doesn't counter that, and then we can just Exquisite Firecraft for the win. Going down to 4. I guess we could get himmed again. That would be very frustrating. Adding mana, so they're not going to gain life. Oh, it's him to Torak. That's rough. And they can't attack. We still have outs here. Still got a lot of outs here. Oh man, that was brutal. So I guess if this Rift Bolt resolves, they can't force anymore, they can't fetch anymore.
So anything you draw in is a burn spell.
Pyrostatic Pillar is not really it, but does mean they can't cast anything for a while. Oh, no, they tapped blue and then didn't do anything. So I guess we just have to jump for a while. How many creatures are in the graveyard? 1 at the moment. So they can go up to 3 to cast something. I think I take this hit. Okay, they're not attacking. That's good. That's good. It's a bit late for Pyroblast.
Yeah, doesn't want to be kind to you right now.
I mean, we're not in a horrendous spot right now.
Yeah, no, it's not awful. It's just like you've got a pretty reasonable chance of drawing a thing that kills your opponent, and it's just not happening.
Okay, Connor's also got D&T on Mitgo now, which is nice. So I guess the threat is now, if our Swift Spear dies, then that's another 2 life. They don't have an easy way to get rid of Pyrostatic Pillar, which is nice. I think I have to take this hit. Yeah, I think I've got to take this hit. Because if the Swift Spear dies, they can gain life off the Swift Spear in the graveyard.
Oh, right. Fair enough then.
Oh
man.
I feel like both times we've just been like, anything but land.
Yeah, this is a sad one.
Because my fear is they're going to have a Fatal Push here and then they will just live through it. Fetch land is useless for them. Now we have to block and now they are down to 5. Now they are up to 5 rather. Although them pausing after attacks doesn't fill me with great hope. So unfortunate. I mean, there's still things we can draw here, for sure, but... And the fact they've not done that yet... Lava Spike is like the worst thing to draw. There's just no way to survive. I mean, our out is our opponent doesn't Deathrite Shaman here, and just forgets. Yep. Like, if it could only have been something that was instant speed. That's unfortunate, because this feels like a good matchup, and it feels like both times our deck just bricked out on us at the end. Maybe I should have brought Pyroblast in, who knows. Well, 3 and 2 is okay. It's still having good amount of luck with this deck, I think. And what is in our chest? Hammerfist Giant, Spell Pierce, and a Cartouche of Solidarity. But hey, better than a kick in the teeth. Unfortunately, Connor, it was a whammy. It was such a whammy. But that is it for tonight. There will be a stream next week. There is a very good chance it will be more Legacy, because I don't think Standard's out next week yet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Standard's not out next week yet. Or hopefully we will, the week after, get into playing some serious Standard. Because I liked Standard before, so hopefully it'll get better. As for this deck, I don't think there's anything I'd change. Like, Searing Blaze can be very hit and miss at times. I'm also not sure if I need another Searing Blaze and 2 Searing Bloods in the sideboard. I like the Pillars, I like the Pyroblast, Smash is good. The Tormod Crypts, I'm kind of and I also just realised I forgot to bring this in against D&T, which is exactly the deck it's designed to fight. Because I like Exquisite Firecraft for sure. Yeah, that kind of like that Hymn to Tourette play was kind of crazy because if we had Fire Blast, we would have just done it in response, so they had to read us for having exactly Exquisite Firecraft. So, there you go. Well, no, that was good fun, and now I'm going to go make some pasta and eat this delicious bread. But thank you all for watching, and now I'm going to try and remember what I set the stop stream button to. I think it's this one.